Good morning and welcome back for another Workshop Wednesday. My name is Nadia Qureshi and I am the Northern Youth Workforce Development Coordinator for Kansas Works Southeast. Before we get started, I'm just going to take a moment to remind everybody to go ahead and mute your microphones now. And if you have any questions as we go along the materials, please go ahead and enter them in the chat so that one of our staff can answer those questions as we go along. Today, we are going to go over how to keep an effective resume. That also means going over what exactly a master resume is and how to use one effectively during your job search. So first of all, what is a master resume? A master resume should be a growing document that organizes and details all of your professional experiences and skills. Your master resume is going to be like your professional biography. It's going to include the details of all of your experiences, skills, and proficiencies. It's not going to be the resume that you apply for jobs with, and there's no such thing as too much detail here. So when you're turning in a normal resume that you're applying for jobs with, you want to be short and sweet. However, your master resume can be as long and as detailed as you want it to be because this is going to be a great source of information to pull from later. And just as we talked about, it is an excellent tool for creating those targeted resumes, i.e. the resumes you will be applying for jobs with. And those targeted resumes are going to be specific to certain occupations, roles, or opportunities that you're seeking. So instead of a generalized overview of everything that you've ever done professionally, it's going to go into detail over relevant skills towards a specific field. What are the benefits of keeping a master resume? This is going to simplify your job search. As we talked about in the previous slide, it's going to make creating those targeted resumes for applying for jobs with much easier. It's a reference point to all of your relevant skills and experience. So to go back and pick and pull those relevant details and information. It's going to manage a history of all of your achievements, projects, and other sorts of extracurriculars that you have been involved in. It's going to highlight your career pattern. So not only is it going to show what your skills and proficiencies are, it's going to show what your tendencies and preferences are in the workforce. It's going to make completing HTML applications much easier. So some job applications aren't going to have an option for you to just upload a resume. They're going to want you to type in the body. Or in your case, with an effective master resume, you can copy and paste those relevant details from your professional history into their text box for their online applications. And like I said, many a times, having a master resume makes it as easy as copy, paste, and format. What should you include on a master resume? You want to list out all of your skills gained from your professional experiences. And don't forget to also include any sort of volunteer experiences or extracurricular activities. With your work experience, don't spare any of the detail. You want to make sure not to put just your general job description on there, but to actually detail what you did. With your education history, include any sort of extracurriculars, what you majored in, any sort of clubs, projects, or leadership opportunities that you pursued while going through school. Include any projects, accomplishments, awards, recognitions, etc. And list out any certifications or licenses that you may have earned. So if you have your CDL, CNA, CMA, if you're CPR certified, if you are certified in taxes, any sort of certifications, go ahead and include them here as well. They might be relevant later. How should you use a master resume? You can see by looking at my screen on the left, that would be considered a master resume. It's multiple pages long, and no employer is going to want to sit down and read all of that. That's way too much information. But if you look over on the right, you can see that I've pulled relevant details from the master resume to target them towards a specific opportunity. In my example, outreach. So instead of going through every single detail of every job I've ever worked, starting out in Parks and Recreation and as a face painter, which might be less relevant in the role of outreach, I've gone through and highlighted specific details that pertain to the opportunity that I'm seeking. So I can just copy and paste bulleted points from my overly detailed master resume to make a very clean, condensed looking targeted resume with a whole bunch of useful information that is specific to the occupation or opportunity that I am seeking. Where should you keep a master resume? You want to make sure that your master resume is easily accessible for continuous editing. Because again, this is your professional biography and it's a growing document. Every experience you go through, you're going to add to your master resume. So you want to be able to access it and easily make those edits. So, first of all, you can use kansasworks.com. If you create a job seeker account, we have a resume builder, lots of different job seeker resources, active job listings that are verified by our own in house business service team. But that resume builder is even going to give you prompts based on the different occupation that you have selected. So it's going to give you different suggestions and edits for your resume and how to keep it constructed. You can also use different Google applications. These are also free to use and web-based, and they also have different templates to choose from. Or if you already have a Microsoft Office subscription, you can use Microsoft Word or any of those applications in Microsoft Office. It does require a paid subscription, but it also has templates to choose from. So, if you choose to use kansasworks.com as your method for maintaining your master resume, here's a quick, simple walkthrough on how to do that. You'll type in kansasworks.com in the search bar, and then this page is going to pull up. If you don't already have an account, click on the Job Seekers tab and click on Create an Account. After you have filled out your personal information and created a username and a strong password, you'll go through and fill out a little bit about yourself, just some basic profile and how to reach you, and then answer a survey on how you heard about us. Once you've completed that, you're going to go ahead and log into kansasworks.com with those new credentials that you just created. Verify your email address, and then you're going to get to your home page. This is where you can also access lots of different resources. And for creating targeted resumes, you can access Big Interview like I'm indicating right there. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see that we have lots of different job seeker resources, including our job search workbook, unemployment information, and much more. But we're going to scroll up and focus on the resume component today. So go to My Resumes. If you already have existing resumes, you are welcome to go ahead and view and edit instead of starting a whole new document. Or if you're starting fresh, go ahead and click Create a New Resume. In here, you can see that I've gone ahead and titled mine as Nadia's Master Resume, just to go ahead and give us a good example. So you're just going to fill out this information, like where you're located, how far you're willing to commute, what your wage information and requirements are, whether you have a valid driver's license, and down below you can upload your targeted resume for employers to see after you publish. Here you can see it's giving me different prompts on objective statements based on outreach positions, and also giving me different prompts for a summary of qualifications based on the occupation code that I selected for outreach. So you can select one of these or create your own if none of those are feeling right. It's going to have you verify your contact information, so making sure that you're keeping your address book up to date so that people can contact you if interested. This is what it'll look like if you're going to go ahead and add a new address. And then once you've confirmed your details, go ahead and back out so you can add your work history. So you can see here, I have a lot of different jobs that I have listed out, but we're going to go ahead and edit so you guys can see what that looks like to enter your work history. So I have animal lab technician listed here, and animal caretakers was my occupation code. And here is all of the job details that I thought were relevant based off of what Kansas Works suggested for me in that position. So you can see here that you can select all of your different talents, tools, and activities that were involved in those job descriptions. Anything that you think sounds relevant, go ahead and select it. Like we said, this is a master resume, so you can be as detailed as you want to so that you can target specific information at a later date. Once you've updated your work experience, you're going to move on to your education. You can go ahead and include any education that you want here. Just make sure that you're remembering to also put in any sort of extracurriculars you might have been involved in and detailing some of the information that would be relevant as you were going through your schooling. You can go ahead and add any awards that you may have earned, just the title and a brief description, and then you can save that. Then we're going to go on into any licenses and certifications that you might have. Enter your license or certification here, and then in the description, you can enter something such as maybe your license number and where you obtained your license and what year. As you can see, I'm just typing all crazy on this one, but you're going to go ahead and enter the month and year that you earned your credential down here. And once you've gotten all of your information squared away, you can go ahead and save and continue. Here's where you can add any sort of additional information. So here, this is where I like to include any sort of special projects or volunteering that you've done in the community. Again, it's just easy and nice to have that there to reference. Here, you can add any military service that you might have had. And you're going to enter what branch you were in, your years of service, and then a brief description. And this is not going to be asking you for a license number or anything crazy like that, just asking you what kind of driver's license you have, if any. And then here is where you can go ahead and organize some good professional references. If you know that you've worked with people or maybe even some influential teachers, you can go ahead and start organizing their information so that if you wanted to call upon them as a reference later, always check in with them first and then go ahead and pull that information and make sure that you have it all accurate. Afterwards, you should see this page here just to confirm your information. Kansas Works is going to offer any sort of suggestions and edits, but after you've confirmed that everything looks good, this is what your master resume will look like on kansasworks.com. So you can see that mine here is many pages long because I had several work experiences on here and I spared no detail at all in my descriptions and talents, tools, and activities. So that way I have a lot of information to pull from whenever I am targeting a resume for a later opportunity. And then down here, you can go and publish your resume. However, since this is a master resume, it's not the one that I want job seekers to see. So whenever you're going in and creating that resume initially on kansasworks.com, make sure that once you target a resume or want employers to see it, then you can attach your targeted resume and publish that. However, if it's your master resume, maybe keep it private. And then we want you to go ahead and utilize your resources. So whenever you're working on constructing your master resume, feel free to stop by your local workforce center and see if you can get some direction from one of our workforce professionals. Utilize kansasworks.com as an easy, fast tool to maintain and have easy access to your master resume for you to target resumes at any time. Or use any Word document software of your choice to go ahead and build, maintain, access, and edit that resume at any time. And of course, please call or visit your local workforce center if there's ever anything that we can do to assist, whether it's your master resume, mock interview, or more. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., other than Thursdays, where we have a delayed start and are open from 9 a.m. to 5. We are closed daily from 1 to 2 p.m. for lunch, and we have locations in Chanute, Emporia, Independence, Paola, and Pittsburgh, with satellite locations in Iola and Fort Scott. Please visit us online as well. We are social. Follow us on social media for tips, current job openings, and other great information and resources. And then you can also access thousands of, or hundreds of different job openings, or thousands, depending on the day, at the touch of your fingers with Kansas Works Job Search app. So follow us online, download the Job Search app, and join us again for Workshop Wednesdays. Thank you so much.